Okay, so I'm just going to wait for you guys to join the stream back. The network is really bad. I'm just going to let me just continue. For those of you that are joining, you are welcome. So the network is really bad. So just drafting this beautiful corset pattern. Thank you so much, Eki. Yes, the network went off. So let's continue. Okay. So like I said, so what I did was I don't even know where the network went off. That's even the worst part. So this is the waistline. So this is the normal blouse length. So this one now. So let's measure how many inches addition I added. So I added like, so this is like extra 6 inches thereabout to create that deep basque effect. Okay. Okay, we're drafting Stephanie. Yes, you're welcome. We were drafting a corset that has loops at the center before the network went off. So we had finished. So we did the draft already. So I'm just trying to, at this point, I'm just trying to highlight the points. Okay. So I was just trying to highlight the points. So this is what we have. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to create that the loops for the center. So for that center loops, it's just a simple process. Okay. So for this, you are going to determine how wide you actually want it to be. If you notice, from the top is a little bit wider than the front, than the other part. So for the top part, I'm going to use about 1 inch for it. So I'm just going to come to this point like this. I'll mark my 1 inch from that chest part. You could see I'll just keep marking that 1 inch like this. I'll mark it. So as I get to this part, which is like the waist part, you notice it is a little bit reduced. So I'll just reduce it a little bit and then reduce it a little bit. So it's not going to get to the full down. So once you get to this part, it's going to be half of an inch. So let me connect that with my ruler first and let's see how it looks before I cut off. So can you see? This is how it looks like. Okay. So now we're going to cut off. So let's see how how it's going to look like. So the first thing, let's cut this out first. So for those of you that are just joining us, we started already. So this is the front pattern. So for the back pattern, we're just using a basic bodice. We're going to just use a basic bodice. So this is our pattern. You can see everything we did, like you can see. So the next thing now, let's just cut this off. So let's cut the part of the loops first. That's the lace up part. So that's for the lace up part. So the next thing now, we are going to cut the down part. Can you see the shape of our beautiful design? Can you see the shape? It is so beautiful. So before I cut it, I want to just open it for you guys to see. Can you see? Can you see? You see how beautiful it is? You see there's like the pattern. You see it looks like the blouse on the picture. So that is what I'm saying. Once you know how to draft pattern, you don't have any problem when it comes to any style line. It's just for you to be able to read it and then you cut that out so you can see. So the next thing now, I'm going to open up the bustier areas now. So I'll open that. So that's for the side, and then I am going to open the center front now. So I'm just making sure that everything is aligning straight. So like I said, for those of you that are just joining us, we did a video before the live stream went up, so that is why. Okay, so you can see the center, you see how beautiful the center is, and then I'm going to place the sides of our corset tube. Can you see? So you can see how this looks like. Can you see? Thank you so much, Edith. Can you see? You see it? So it is a simple process. So when you have customers dress and you see styles like this, you don't have to be afraid. Once you know how to draft your pattern, go ahead and draft, play around with it, and then you come out with a beautiful pattern, and then you'll be able to transfer to your fabric. So that this is for the front. So for the back is just a normal back. It does not have a deep basque or whatever. So for the back it's just a normal pattern. That's just a normal back pattern. So for those of you that want to still join, you can watch. Let me just draft the pattern. So for the pattern, so for the back, I am just going to use my pencil first. So I'll put a start line like this. So this start line is what is going to I'm going to use as my startup line. So I'm looking for my tape. We're always looking for our tape. So the next thing now, from this point, I'm just going to use the same 5 inches to drop, and then I'll take my bust point, which was 11, and then my under bust 14, and then my half cut 17.5, and then the full length of the blouse is 21.5. So the back does not have that back. It's just a normal regular back. So for the back, for this, I know you are going to ask, yes, you are going to still add for this kind of dress, since you already added the loops to the front, the back you are just going to add a zip to it. So you don't need to loop the back and then loop the front. It will look awkward. So the next thing now, let's just draft our pattern. So for the back, the next thing we're using our we want to mark out add our neckline already. So for the front neckline, we actually used about 8 inches for the depth. So for the front, I'm going to use 9 inches. So this is 9 inches. I am going to mark that point. It is a tube. So I'm going to mark this point here now. This is where I am going to work with. So from this tube, I'm going to use, you remember when I measured around, because of it was a tube, I got about 34 inches. Okay, so that 34, when I divided it, I had about 8 inches. So that 8 inches, I'm just going to mark that 8 inches here. Sorry, 32 inches. I had about 8 inches, and then I added half of an inch to it. So from that point like this, so I'm just trying to make sure that everything is okay. That you see, okay. So this is 9 inches now. So I'm just going to mark it. I'm just going to leave it like that. That's for the back. So the back is supposed to be a little bit deeper than the front. So the next thing, I'm going to mark out my dart. So for the dart, I'll use 4.5. I'll just mark the 4.5 across all of the lines. So like I said, for this, for the back part, we are going to add a zip to it. So I'll connect it straight like this. And then when I connect it straight like this, so I'll just connect it, let it enter the neckline, connect it this way. And then the next thing I want to do now, I want to take out my full body measurement. So for the full body measurement, my bust, we use 36 inches for our bust, which was 9 inches. So I'll mark the 9 inches like this, and then I'll add 3 inches to for allowance. Why am I adding the 3 inches? I'll take out 1 inch for my darts, okay? So my under bust, for the under bust, we use 32 inches, so which is 8 plus 3 inches. I'll mark the 3 inches like this. And then my waist, we use 34, which is 7.5. That's all of this measurement divide by 4. And then I'll add my allowance here. And then for the hip, 38 inches. So I'll mark it here and then add 3 in them. So this one, what I mark here, I'm going to mark it on my chest line. So I'll then I'll mark it like this. Can you see? See. Okay, no problem, Amos, Esther. No problem. So the next thing we're going to do now, I want to add my dart. So like I said, I'm using 1 inch for the dart, which I already did. So for that dart, I'm just going to come to this point, and then I'll take half of an inch to the left and then half of an inch to the right. So this dart, I'm going to run it across to the top. That's from the, I'm going to run it, let it run from up down, because since I'm going to snatch the waist at the back, okay? So from there, I'm going to, what I have here is 6 inches, what's remaining. So I'll just divide that into two, and then I would mark this. I'll just mark this like this, okay? So after marking this, I'm going to take out half of an inch, just half inch from it, because like I said, I want to add a zip to it. So the essence of me doing this, I just want to try as much as I can, let it have a corset look. So that is why I'm doing this. So can you see how it looks like? So the next thing I am going to do here at this point now, I'm going to add my zip allowance. So for instance, in case you don't want to add, in case you want to add loops to this, what you are going to do, you are going to take out 2 inches from your pattern. You can decide to take out 2 inches from this top part like this, and then come to this part, also take out 2 inches, and then take out 1.5, and then take out 1 inch from the down part. So the essence of this, this kind of loop, that it will come like this. So that's it. If you do your pattern like this, you are going to get loops that are going to, that's guys, you are going to have a corset back. Let me put it that way. It's not going to be straight, so you can see. So all of this now, you can eliminate this. That's if you're adding a back to your corset. But if you're not adding a, if you are not, that's if you are not using a corset back, that you want to add zip, you can just add your zip allowance, and then you'll be able to go with it. So like I said, this is the front pattern. For those of you that did not see the first video, you have to go back and watch it so that you'll be able to see everything that we did the drafting of the front first, okay? So guys, I'm going to call it a stop here, as I'm going to be stopping my tutorial here for tonight. And I want to say thank you to all of you that tuned in, all of you that tuned in. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dorcas. Thank you. Thank you, Favor Chinansa. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, Favor. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Good evening. Yes, I don't even know. I've been I've been around. So thank you so much. You guys should please like the video, okay? So thank you so much. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much, Dorcas. Thank you, Tommy Stitches. Thank you so much. God bless you. Tommy Ella, thank you so much. All of you that are giving me thumbs up, thank you. Those of you that are giving me hearts, thank you.